What's going on, Nasteey Nation? It's Nasteey, and in today's video I'm going to be going over some questions from some of you guys. If you have a question about League of Legends or support that you would like me to answer, then be sure to join my Discord using the link in the description and post your questions in the Questions for Nasteey channel. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you guys all need help with, but without further ado, let's get into this one. First question asks, what time does Nasteey stream? So I don't really have a streaming schedule at the moment because between school and the other job that I'm working, I can't really dedicate myself to a specific stream schedule, but I am trying to stream as often as I can. And when I do stream, I am streaming on twitch.tv, so be sure that you do give me a follow over on twitch.tv/nasteeylol. That way you can get notified whenever I do go live, because again, I don't have a specific stream schedule right now, so that will be the best chance of you being able to tune into one of my streams. This next question asks, when is the new support plays coming out? I really liked that video. Well, first off, I just want to say that I'm glad you liked that video, and I know a lot of other of my viewers also enjoyed that video, so I do plan on coming out with these more often. This isn't a series that I think I want to do every week, but every 2 weeks or so seems to be a little bit more appropriate and something that I think is a little bit more doable. But when I do come out with these videos, they will ideally come out on a Monday, so next Monday is what I am aiming to upload the next support plays video, so be sure to keep an eye out for when that does go live. This next question asks, can you make a video about new runes on season 9? To the best of my knowledge, the only rune that I know about them changing so far is bone plating. I haven't really heard about too much other than that, and I'm sure that they will change more eventually, but as of right now, I'm not sure if there are any major changes coming to the rune pages. But if there are some major changes that do have a large impact on the support role, then I will be sure to make a video on that in the future to inform you guys on everything that you need to know as far as what rune pages you should be taking heading on into season 9. But I think for right now, preseason just started, we don't need to worry about that too much at the moment. This next question asks, what does the League partner program mean for you? So from what I can tell, the partner program is still a work in progress. They are trying their best to make it beneficial for partners, and not only that, but encourage them to be more of an influencer to try to get more people involved in League of Legends, whether that be encouraging people who have been playing this game for a long time to continue playing, or encouraging new people to join and play the game as well. But basically what it means for me, aside from being able to do giveaways and give back to you guys, is just showing that I have made it somewhere. I know that 20-ish thousand subscribers isn't much in the big picture, but being able to get to this milestone, make it to this milestone and being able to get accepted into the partner program shows that what I'm doing is paying off to a certain extent, so that's kind of what it means for me. This next question asks, do you think you could make a video about which support items to buy in different situations, and under which circumstances should you buy some of them? This seems like a pretty interesting video idea. I don't know if this is something that I would be able to cover, just because going over in-depth analysis on every single support item seems like it would be really time consuming and also very difficult to nail for every support champion. But if this is something that you guys would be interested in, then definitely let me know, and I will set aside the time to put together a video about an in-depth guide to what items you should be buying. This next question has to do with duo partners, and basically just to summarize, they're asking if they should be duoing at the end of it. And my opinion is you really shouldn't be duoing with anybody unless that person is either of an equal level of skill as you, or if they are slightly above you, because when you do duo with somebody, the matchmaking will put you up against players who are slightly better in order to compensate for the advantage that you do get from duoing. So if you're not playing with somebody who is all that great or better than you, then it won't be paying off all that much, and in those situations I really don't think being a duo would pay off all that much. This next question asks, what supports do you recommend someone to play if they are autofilled and have no idea what they are doing? So this goes for any role, not just support, but if you ever get autofilled and you do decide to play that game out, my recommendation to you would to be just to play simple champions. Don't challenge yourself by playing a champion that has a very high skill cap. If you're playing a role that you already aren't super familiar with, then you shouldn't put that extra obstacle on top of it, playing a champion that takes a long time to master. Instead, just play a very simple champion. Let's say you get autofilled to ADC, play something like Ashe. This is a champion that is very straightforward, very easy to pick up, and thus you won't be holding your team back as much. This next question asks, what do you do if your ADC is trash? Well, just to rephrase, if your ADC is having an off game or a bad game, then you definitely don't want to be playing around them. That doesn't mean that you should be stealing their CS or just avoiding them and leaving them in lane to die, but just focus your attention concentration on other lanes. For example, if you have an ADC that is starting off the game on a poor note, maybe they go 0-3 or something like that, then definitely focus on getting your mid laner ahead or helping your jungler, something along those lines. Just because your ADC is having a bad start doesn't mean you want to neglect them. It just means that you want to shift your attention towards playing around a different role. This next question asks, do you like the Aatrox and Akali rework? Honestly, I think that Riot is trying a little too hard as far as their reworks and their new champions that they're releasing. It seems like they are fixed on this idea that every champion has to be super elaborate and has to have so many things involved in their kit, and I think sometimes simplicity is key. I know a lot of people find the simpler champions in the game to be a little bit more boring, but I think there is a nice balance that there could be found there between the boring champions and the way overtuned champions like Aatrox and Akali. This next question is asking if I could make a video along the lines of a huge support tricks guide. Now, when I do include questions like this, I typically don't give an answer, which seems a little weird for a Q&A type video, but I do like to include them just because I want to hear the feedback from you guys. If you guys do think I should make a video like this, then feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, and if a lot of people seem to be fond of this idea, then I can definitely do it in the future. This next question asks, what do you do if your teammates refuse to surrender a game? The obvious answer here is you just play the game out. If your teammates want to continue to play the game, then you have to do your part. You have to continue to play that game out. Don't AFK, don't troll, don't sit in base. If your teammates see an opportunity for the game to be won, then it is your responsibility to play that game out. There's no such thing as holding a game hostage. There is the FF rules for a reason. It has to be 4 votes after 20 minutes. It has to be all 5 votes after 15 minutes. And just because you don't agree with your teammates as far as if the game is winnable or not, that doesn't mean that you should just give up. So again, play the game out if your teammates want to as well. This next question asks, how do I correctly build and know what items to get as a support? Typically, the best way to find out what items to build would be just by looking them up online, either using op.gg, u.gg, looking up what pros are building in their games. And usually you do have to adapt from game to game as far as what you're building, but if you are new to the game and still struggling to figure out what your core items are, then just following a build path off of a website would be the most ideal, even though, like I said, sometimes it is more common to have to adapt in game and not build the exact same items every game. This next question is actually a 2-part question. The first one asks, how can I carry the game as support when your ADC is not really good? This is something that I already previously answered in a way. Basically, you do want to be playing around your other roles if your ADC is having an off game. And the second question is, I'm a pretty inconsistent player. How can I become more consistent? My tip to you would be just make sure that you are in the exact same mindset going to every single game. Make sure that you're not playing games when you are hungry or in a bad mood, or if you're just not feeling super focused that game. Make sure that you have the same mindset so that way every single time you get into a game you can perform as good as ever. This next question asks, why are there 2 clubs in League? Well, first of all, for those of you guys who don't know, I do have some clubs on League that you can join if you are interested in doing so. Of course, this is also going to be NA only, but the reason that I have 2 clubs is because the first one is just my YouTube URL, and I figured that was a little boring and people wouldn't want to just represent a URL, so instead I made a different one, the Nasteey Nation Club. I feel like it's a little bit more fun, something that people would be a little bit more excited to join. So again, if you want to join either of these and you are in NA, just send me a friend request. I'll accept it and get you into one of the clubs as soon as I can. This next question asks, how long does it take you to make a video? And honestly, it really depends. If it's something like stream highlights, then all you have to do is stream, send the VOD over to one of my editors and they will make it for me. If it's something like a champion guide, that can take up to 6 to 8 hours, from going from the beginning where I have to make a script from the video, to having to do research about the best builds and runes and stuff like that, to having to actually play the champion a bit myself to get a better feeling for them, to recording, to making all the editing. Those videos do take a long time, but it really can take anywhere from an hour to 8 hours. This next question asks, is it recommended to pick your main champion into an unfavorable matchup? So I have kind of 2 different answers for this one. My first answer would be, if you are a one trick and that really is the only champion that you can play, then my advice to you would be either dodge or just go through with the unfavorable matchup. But if you do have another champion in your champion pool that would fit better for that specific game matchup, then clearly that would be the better option. This next question asks, hey Nasteey, are you still doing coaching videos? So the answer to this is simply yes. I do coaching still. I have a video out with all the details for my coaching sessions. They vary anywhere from $20 to $40 depending on the package that you get. I've had really good feedback from all the coaching sessions that I've done so far. So overall, it's been really well so far for me, as well as the clients that I've gotten. And if you guys are interested in coaching, definitely go check that out. As far as coaching videos, I do them from time to time. Not all the time, not every single single coaching session is followed up with a coaching video. But again, if you are interested in coaching, be sure to check out that video for more details, or you can just check the description of this video and there's also some information about my coaching lessons there as well. And the final question of this video asks, what are the main differences between mid diamond and diamond 1 to challenger support players? Now this might seem like a weird answer to you guys because it's so simple and so straightforward, but from what I can tell, the main difference between these different players is their ability to land their skill shots. A challenger player can really punish you. Let's say they're on Thresh, for example. A good challenger Thresh will be able to land like 70% of their hooks in a game, 70 to 80%, somewhere around there, and just be able to completely pop off and carry a game. Whereas the mid diamond players, these are the players that still struggle hitting their skill shots and thus still struggle to carry games from the support position. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up the end of this video. I hope you were able to find it helpful. If you were, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Also, as I mentioned earlier, if you do have a question for me, all you have to do is join the Discord using the link in the description and submit your plays in the questions for Nasteey channel. But that will do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.